council meeting to order and ask everyone to join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
God, we haven't had that many people say the Pledge of Allegiance together in a long time. It's fun to listen to.
The roll, please.
Belke. Here. Belzak.
Here.
Kenny.
Here.
Marquez.
Here.
McIver.
Here.
Shower.
Here.
Seifert.
Here.
7 present.
We have a quorum. The next item on the agenda is our questions and comments and announcements time of a general nature. If anyone is in the audience that would like to address the City Council on any subject matter, it doesn't have to be just the items that are on the agenda this evening. I would ask that you come forward to the podium.
Good evening. My name is Stacy Tantillo. I live in the Hinsbrook area, Ward 7. We had heard rumblings of this, and it's just now recently come to our attention that the city of Darien has collectively agreed to end their contract with Andy Frayne for the crossing guards at 75th Street by Eisenhower and 75th and Cass.
That's incorrect. We never had a contract with Andy Frayne. We had our volunteers do the police
Well, then Dr.
monitoring.
Carlo has misinformation from Brian Vanna, I believe is who he said he spoke with. Because we had a superintendent's advisory committee meeting a couple weeks ago, and that's who Dr. Carlo got his information from. And he said that you had contract with Andy Frayne. Anne Marie, correct me if I'm wrong.
When did we start the contract with
Well,
Andy?
yeah, we have this fiscal year.
Fiscal year we started.
Probably in June or July, we signed with Andy Frayne. Prior to that, we had our own crossing guards that would serve at some of the intersections, and we did enter into contract with Andy Frayne, but there was some additional council direction. I think we'll talk later because Alderman Belke had some emails, and I advised the school, based on the city council's direction, that we would end the crossing guards with our fiscal year, and we let the school district know some time ago that after that it would be their responsibility.
So my information was incorrect. We do have a contract.
Okay. My question is this. I mean, this is something that the city of Darien has done throughout the years, according to Dr. Carlo, that you've provided the service for our children. So they have safe crossing from 75th Street, which is currently a 4-lane road, which is going to be expanded starting in March, I believe, and you're doing away with it. So Darien's a nice place to live, but it is no longer a safe place to live for our children. I am not affected by this. I don't have a child that crosses 75th. We carpool. She does have the opportunity of a bus, but I'm just curious as to why the city has decided to end this service for our families and our children and our schools. I understand there are many other schools that the city does not provide crossing guards for, but they are not on major thoroughfares as Eisenhower is and Lace. You know, kids that are crossing 75th Street, 75th Cass, it's dangerous. And especially now with the construction coming up, it's going to be even more dangerous. And so I guess my other question is this, couldn't we have, I understand you ended on the fiscal year, couldn't we have extended it? Just made a one more month contract to get the kids through the school year and through the onstart of the construction to cross them safely. And then our school board can make a decision whether they want to pick up the cost, because we understand it's in excess of $20,000, or we make a push to get students on the buses.
Now, this is information that the school district has had for at least 2 years.
We understand that, and they, you know, and Dr. Carlo dropped the ball on that, and we've let him know that this should have been brought to every parent's attention immediately, that this was something that was going to be coming down the pike, and what can be done and what can be handled. It's just a concern for myself as a citizen, you know, why was there a need to end this, and where is that money now going within the city?
The desire of the council was to end it because we don't do it for any other school districts, number one.
They're not on a road as Eisenhower is.
But you have to understand that the money that we take in as a city is from all of the residents all over the city. So the council felt it was unfair for all of the residents of Darien to pay for just one school district's crossing guards.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
If I could just add, if anybody is interested, the last formal action that the city council took was on May 6th, 2013, and if anybody wants to go to our website, there's some additional backup material that would help.
Okay.
You'll be able to read exactly what the city council looked at when they made the decision. And basically, it talks a little bit about this issue went back to a police committee meeting May 3rd, 2012. And actually, it was just a simple question. We were going through the police department budget, and at that point, we did have money in there for part-time school crossing guards. And the question was asked, how come the city pays for those crossing guards? And it came up as simple as that. And our answer, we don't have an intergovernmental agreement, it's something we've done historically. That started discussions amongst the city council, if that really is a city responsibility, a city pay. So that's how this discussion started. And the last, again, on the May 6th meeting, the last final action that was passed by the city council was a resolution. And basically, it was 4-3 by the city council, and this issue has had a lot of discussion over the last few years, but, you know, again, I think from the city's perspective, at least the majority of the council wanted to address that issue back in May, so at least to give the school formal notice of some time frame, because we didn't want to say, okay, we didn't want to address this April 1st and say, May 1st, you have to pick it up. So we tried to build some notice time in for the school. I understand the school recently had a meeting where they were talking about possibly busing all the students, which would eliminate the need for the crossing guards, which is what I think District 66 ended up doing several years ago.
Right, and that's definitely part of the discussion, and that would be a great resolution to this, to get parents on board to that, because the school doesn't want to pick up the liability. You know, and, you know, Darien is now dropping the liability, although by dropping that contract, you're still somewhat holding liability if anything should happen. I just wanted to understand where this came from, and obviously now I'm understanding it's a police line item also. It's part of their budget?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it was, and this particular year, the expense is for Andy Frayne. That was really a second issue. Once the city council decided to keep that in the budget this year, then the separate issue was, should we contract with Andy Frayne to provide those services? So really, they're independent issues.
Okay. Is there anything that the city council that you could discuss as a whole, just to get the kids from the end of the Andy Frayne contract, which is the end of April, correct? Is that, okay, that's when the crossing guards will be going away, to get them through the end of the school year, you know, whether it be a squad car, you know, construction is going to be starting, it's...
Yeah, the contract we have with Andy Frayne is about $22,000 for the full service for the year, so what we had asked the school district, or told the school district, we would be ending in April if they could pick it up for the May month, which is about $2,000. So it's not, when you mentioned the 20 or 22,000, that's really
for the year.
Right.
No, I understand that, and I know that there was the option of them being able to pick it up for that last month of school and such, but in the event that they don't, can the city come to maybe some sort of agreement that a squad could at least be placed, you know, just as a turn, especially on 75th Street by Eisenhower, once the construction starts?
It's not going to be, the actual construction won't really be starting until much later than March in 2014.
March. So school is still in session. School doesn't get out until June.
They're probably doing some of the utilities and some of the work away from that intersection. We can find out, our staff has been meeting with them in terms of the construction schedule.
It's just something as a parent that I would, you know, appreciate to know that the council has discussed it somewhat. You know, if a squad could be placed, if something could be done in that interim until the school district can figure out what they want to do.
This is almost a discussion the city council had the previous year. At the police committee had made a recommendation that the school should take on that expense, and we're in the same predicament a year ago where, you know, we wanted to give them more notice. So that's how the date was coming up with, and I think the discussion back in May, it was nobody's intention or nobody's desire to leave the students if they're still walking without crossing guards. Nobody wanted to do that. It was just a matter of when we end and when the school district picks that
And
up from the city.
That's my question. So there's that gap time. You wanted to end it with your fiscal year, which I understand. And so there's that gap time in the school. Our school board has not come to a decision, even though they've had this information for quite some time. They still have not come to a decision, and shame on them for that. But if there is some agreement that can be brought forth that from the end of the contract until the end of the school year, can there be some sort of a presence to ensure the safety of the children that are crossing and walking?
Well, as it stands now, the direction from the council was to end it April 30th. So what you're asking would take a separate action by the city council, something
Right.
formal, yes.
Right. So, and that's what I'm asking for. If there
Okay.
could, be some type of a discussion from May 1st until the end of the school year, which will be, I believe, June 7th.
We certainly
There
could do
be
that,
something
yeah.
that could be done just to ensure the safety of the kids for that 1 month period.
Well, it's, as you can see, we've been talking about this issue for 2 years, and we were hoping that the school district would step up.
Right.
And now you're asking us to step in again to do something that they should have already decided how to handle.
Right.
So we'll make an effort to discuss it, but yes.
I just had a thought as a possible compromise in this. Maybe we can talk to Andy Frayne, since we've got the current contact with them, see if they can extend it through the end of May, early June, and seek reimbursement from the school for, this way they don't have to go out contracts separately and do all the paperwork of that. It would simplify their paperwork and get over our concept where it's
Right.
not budgeted at this point.
Is Dr. Carlo aware of the fact that they can take a 1-month contract with Andy
We've
Frank?
talked, I think
Okay.
the options Bob was looking at, we talked later last week, was that, and also the option of just busing the students.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he was looking at that long-term, but he also has a proposal from Andy Frayne and has talked to them in the past.
Okay.
So, I don't want to speak for Bob, but I'm sure he's
Right.
aware he could get that, because our contract actually does extend longer, but there's a cancellation clause that we would give notice to cancel it at the end of April.
Okay.
And I'm sure Andy Frame would work with the school district if they want to pick up that extension for the month or so.
Okay. It's information for us to take back now to the
Yes.
next school board meeting, I mean, had we been aware of this as parents, we were not told any of this, and of course, we don't come to the city council meetings as often as we should, and so we weren't aware of it from this aspect. But we know now that our school board has had it for quite some time, and now are, kind of running, trying to figure out what to do, and so we would just like some answers and maybe some possible work between the city and the school board as far as just that 1-month period.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll give it our best effort and talk to Dr. Carlo about
So
it.
is that what we should be doing then, seeing if Bob wants to have us extend the contract for a month and then reimburse us? I don't think the
No.
council would have.
I think we need to talk about that.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I think we,
So we should put this on a committee meeting, is what you're
that's probably
suggesting?
the best
or-
way to do it. That's probably the best way to
Next
do
one
it,
coming
yeah,
up is municipal.
to send it back to a committee to discuss just that extra time.
We need
I'm just a little
Monday night.
troubled by this, to be honest with you, because as I just said, they've had 2 years to deal with this, so here the ball gets thrown back at the city when the school district should have been dealing with it, so. But we'll give it our best effort.
I think what I'll also do is contact Bob Carlo again, just to see from his perspective
What they're doing.
what their plan is, because
They have no plan. I'll be perfectly honest with you. They have no plan. It's very disappointing.
Okay.
They have known about this, and they have had a discussion at one board meeting, and now there's going to be another discussion, and now there's going to be another discussion, and it's just, it's being continued. And and now he's put it into our laps, and so that's all I'm going to say on that.
Thank you very much for coming.
And again, if you want to see the background information that the city council had, it was from, on our website, the May 6th council meeting, all the backup materials there, the minutes from the meeting, and that might also give you some information.
I could also offer to, I have some documentation on this because we did several discussions, we even did benchmarking studies with other communities, who's paying for who's paying for crossing guards, and how big the districts are, and all kinds of research we did, so I can forward that on too.
Yeah, she wants to get Stacy's name. Thank you for coming.
Can I speak?
Oh, sure, come on up.
Stacy is a very difficult act to follow, but I'll do my best. My name is Anne Marie Coley. I'm a resident of Darien.
You know what, I'm sure Clerk Regona wants to get your name also.
I just
Yes.
put it down for you.
Oh, she did. Okay, go ahead, Ann.
Thank you.
Yes.
I am also guilty. I plead ignorance to the process, the meetings that you've all had to take this item out of your budget. I'm disappointed. I wish I would have been more aware, because I would have liked to have, made a statement prior to it being decided. I don't know what the school board will do. I'm a little disappointed there also. But if they choose not to take on this responsibility, I can understand their position to either do it or not do it. But if they don't, I hope that you will reconsider something to deal with that difficult corner. I just would not like anyone to get hurt, and I think that's all of our concerns. So thank you and good luck.
Thank you very much. Come on up.
Barbara Finnegan, also of Darien, District 61. The same subject, and going back to some of the documentation, and it's excellent. I've gone back on all of the videos. You guys have done a great job of getting everything online for everyone to look at. But I go back to, I think, the police committee back in 2012 when they were deciding this, and they strongly urged the city to cover that month and a half left of the school. That was a big concern on the police committee, that it was stopped on April 30th, and it appeared they strongly recommended that the city cover that month and a half, straight from your own police committee.
Well, yeah, that's what I mentioned. We're in the same place a year ago like we are now, and the council recognized there would be a gap and didn't want that gap to exist. And
That
then
was the
did
previous year.
decide it would,
Yeah.
which again was the previous year.
Yeah.
Right, but then it appeared as if they just decided it wouldn't be covered and they'd stop. So it
No,
didn't
I
seem
think-
like
It
because
kept
on
going.
April 30th, it is done, on a Wednesday in the middle of the week.
Well, that's
it is
the end of
done.
our fiscal year, so that's why we use April 30th.
Right, and that's
Yeah.
why the police committee suggested or strongly recommended you continue that.
And we
Yeah, and again, that
Versus
was-
throwing it back to
We
the
did.
school.
That was
We
the-
did.
Yeah, that was the year. Well, that's why this year in May, the city council, I'll say an additional advance notice to the school, so to give them more time to prepare for the $2,000 expense that they would have.
And actually just stating to that, and it's my opinion that it's a public safety issue. It's not on school property. To me, it's not the responsibility of the school to make sure the students get across on a city property. I know the main thoroughfare is a county road, but it's within the city limits. And for the school to pick up that cost, I don't think it is necessarily their job. I think it falls within the city to make sure that pedestrians for 2 hours a day, when they know it's, in the place that it is and how busy it is, that it's their responsibility. So,
Thank you, Barbara.
thanks.
Thank you. Is anyone else in the audience that wanted to address the city council? Well, we thank all of those that, yes, I'm sorry.
Hi, I'm Sheila Kruger, District 61, and also I am crossing guard there. And so I'm at 75th and Cass.
Yeah.
And geez, it's a really busy corner, even for me. They don't care who you are. They just want to go. And
Who's they?
You know, the
cars
and everything.
I wasn't sure which one.
Really a bad corner.
Oh.
And we really need crossing guards there. I mean, my daughter goes to Lace, my son goes to Eisenhower, but yeah, I agree with Anne Marie and
Barbara.
Barb and the other lady.
Okay, Stacy.
I don't remember her
Stacy.
name because I don't know her.
I think that was Stacy back there, yes.
Oh, Stacy,
Yeah.
but yes. I
Okay.
mean, I'm not there that long, and the parents like it because I'm a parent of that school district.
Well, the school district has the option to have volunteer
Yes.
crossing guards, just like you've
Yeah.
done. Yeah, I mean, that's an
Uh-huh.
option that they have to do, just like we used to do for that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I think we can move on now. I think okay. Let's move on to the approval of minutes of our January 6, 2014 meeting. Do I have a motion to approve? Alderman Marquez, seconded by Alderman Seifert. Any additions or deletions for the clerk? Then the roll, please.
Marquez.
Aye.
Seifert.
Aye.
Shower.
Aye.
McIver.
Abstain?
Belkey. Aye. Belzak.
Aye.
Kenny.
Aye.
7 ayes and 1 abstention.
The minutes are approved. The next item is receiving of communications. Do any of the aldermen have communications to share? Alderman Marquez?
Yes, Madam Mayor, you're aware of this because you also received an email. Ms. Julie Stone emailed both of us regarding the video gaming issue. We both responded to Julie's concerns, and I think we alleviated some of those concerns by telling her the process that we went through to reach where we're at today. And while she's not totally pleased with it, she does understand the process. In the process of doing the emailing, I also learned that she's an individual who donates a lot to the People's Resource Center through her organization called Cakes for Causes. So in the course of answering an email, I got a chance to find out something nice that an individual within our area is doing for people less fortunate.
Alderman Belkey?
I had 2 communications for the area on Leonard Street in Darien, and the concern was that with all the snow that we've been having, there's been people putting their personal snow from their driveway out into the middle of the road, and the problem lies where the snowplows may not get to it for the next day or so, and then it creates these big piles in the middle of the street where other cars are spinning out and things like that. So we just want to remind all the residents that there is a city code on that you should not move your snow into the middle of the street. Thanks.
Okay. And we did receive 2 communications from Darien 61, District 61 residents.
Yes.
Yes, regarding the busing situation for the school district. I received, Alderman Scheller and I both received a letter of commendation to our Public Works Department from Jim and Debbie Evan for the terrific job of repairing a broken water main near their home on New Year's Day and in sub-zero weather, as we all well know. I'll present that letter for the record. And I've been stopped by residents, including Father Gavin, on numerous occasions, telling me how wonderful our snow plowing is. So kudos to our Public Works Department. Any other communications? Let's move on then to the mayor's report, and we have lots of things to do this evening. The first item is, I think, what brought a large group of our audience out this evening, and I'd like to read that mayoral proclamation to the record. It's regarding Downers Grove South High School and their marching band participation at the Sugar Bowl. Whereas 100 members of the Downers Grove South High School marching band, as well as staff and chaperones, traveled to New Orleans, Louisiana over the holiday break, and whereas Downers Grove South High School marching band performed during the halftime show alongside other high school ensembles from across the country, and whereas 16 schools featuring over 2,000 musicians and other performers were part of the masked band show, and whereas the Downers Grove High School Marching Band has been preparing for the halftime show since last November, and whereas the Downers Grove High School Marching Band played a medley of Beatles songs, and whereas the Downers Grove South Marching Band participated in a Battle of the Bands field show competition prior to the bowl game and earned the title of Grand Champion. And whereas as a result of being named Grand Champion, the Downers Grove High School Marching Band was invited to march onto the field during the pregame show and unfurl and hold an American-shaped flag during the national anthem before the start of the 2014 Sugar Bowl on January 2nd, 2014. Now therefore, I, Kathleen Weaver, Mayor of the City of Darien, do hereby proclaim the 20th day of January 2014 as Downers Grove South High School Marching Band Day in the City of Darien, and urge all residents to congratulate these wonderful musicians. And I know that all the city council joins me in congratulating you, and I'd like to have, is Mr. Hensler, if you want to come up and receive the proclamation? And I believe you have some of the band members who are going to address us, too.
I have several, yeah.
Okay, good. Come on up, come on up. Would you like to come up? Yes. Why don't you receive the proclamation? Congratulations to your band.
Thank you very much.
It must have been exciting.
Yeah, it was a whirlwind.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Hi.
Hi, I'm Giselle Cervantes.
Speaking.
Oh, sorry. I play tenor sax in the marching band, and I'm a freshman, so it's my first year. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations. That must have been a great trip, huh? Did you go to to downtown New Orleans and get to go to the French Quarter and all that jazz? Go ahead.
Hello, my name is Charles Nortier. Friends and family call me CJ. I play the alto sax, and I am a freshman, first year in high school.
Welcome.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome.
Congratulations.
By the way, these are all Darien residents.
No kidding. Well, good. I'm glad to see you all.
Hello, my name is Tyler Jankowski. I play bass drum for the marching band, and I'm a sophomore.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
It was a lot of fun.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Noelle Conkey. I play the tenor drums in the marching band, and I'm a sophomore.
Welcome.
Hello, my name is Mackenzie Arlt. I play tenor sax, and I am a sophomore in high school.
Welcome.
Hi, I'm Andrew Pavelchuk. I play the bass drums in marching band, and I'm a freshman in high school.
Very good. We have a lot of drum representatives here today, huh? Yeah.
Hello, my name is Nick Klecki. I'm a sophomore in high school, and I play the tuba band.
Welcome. That's a big instrument to carry around, too. Yeah.
Yeah. Hello, my name is Daniel Piccoli. I play the alto saxophone, and I'm a freshman. Thank you.
Welcome.
Hello.
Hi.
My name is Matt Lachinsky. I play the trombone and marching band, and I'm a freshman.
Welcome.
Hello, my name's Jacob Zott. I play the alto saxophone, and I'm a junior in marching band.
Welcome. Welcome.
My name is Greg Hensel. I have a bachelor's degree, and I play the trombone. I would just like to say on behalf.
If you want to pull up that microphone to make it a little.
There you go. I'd just like to say on behalf of the band, we're very honored to represent not only the town of Darien with these students, but the city of Downers Grove and the school of Downers Grove South High School. So it was a true honor. Thank you very much, Mayor Weaver and everyone else for this opportunity.
Why don't you bring up all the band members that were just here tonight? All of you, come on up in front, and I think you have a photographer with you. So we can get you on our wall of fame.
Come on up here, Mr. Frank.
Yes, upstairs. Yeah, just turn, tall guys in the back. Okay.
Just pretend you're marching, you'll get right in order.
Ken's in the Lions Club and does all kinds of pictures for the Lions Club.
Oh, does he really?
Yeah.
That's right.
He teaches at District 63.
Okay, yeah, one at a time, cameraman.
His teachers. He's a good guy.
Yeah, really good. Known Ken for 3 or 4 or 5 years now.
You guys are the best dressed.
So whoever has the best photograph, send it to us so we can put you on our wall of fame.
Claire's our rep, too. She's gotten some pictures.
I have a question for the director. With as many band members, freshmen and sophomores, are we looking for greater things in the future?
This year we had record numbers, and the freshmen in the band, we had 47 in the band. Usually we're about 25, 30, so that was a big number. We're hoping to have, maybe we'll get to 50 this year, 50 freshmen. So we actually had marching band today. We had a meeting from 8 to 5 today. So they took their day off and they came into school and we're working hard.
So they're dedicated people.
They are, yes.
What's the college band that always, they dress up real different, and they do a lot of different movements when they're out on the field, the football field? Is it, no, I thought it was like a southern, or maybe a western, is it?
Stanford.
Is it Stanford? They do some crazy, they do some fun things when they're out, the band is out on the field. Yeah. Well, congratulations, guys. And just participating like you do. That's great.
Well, they're staying.
Yeah, they don't want to stay.
Sharon Tomei, do you recognize? Do you recognize? You know Sharon Tomei?
You see her?
Did you see Sharon?
Next to, all right.
I only recognize one. That's the Eisenhower Junior High.
Well, it's Jerry Pickley's boy.
Yeah.
He doesn't really look like Dad. You know what? I can't remember what his wife looks like.
Oh, Amy was here. She was here.
Much prettier than Jerry.
Way to go,
Was he?
Joe. Oh, jeez.
But not blonde. Amy's blonde.
Yeah. Okay.
Claire, I think I'm going to put you on first. I'm going to ask you to come up and do the Darien Chamber of Commerce update. We're going to leave the announcement of the Citizen of the Year till the last item. Okay.
Good evening. The Darien Chamber of Commerce would like to welcome our new members in January. We have Smiles on Cast. It's going to be opening shortly. They're located at 7339 Cass Avenue in Darien, and I'm meeting with the dentist tomorrow and his wife to set a date for ribbon cutting and their grand opening. State Farm Insurance, Keith Hannar, who is located at 805 Plainfield Road. James Burke is now another new Edward Jones financial advisor who took over for Tim Warner, and he's located at 7702 South Cass Avenue. And Walgreens at 7516 Cass Avenue is now a new chamber member. The 2014 vehicle stickers are now on sale at City Hall. The first 100 residents to purchase a sticker for $3 will receive a free Shop Local, Shop Darien preferred card. You can use a preferred card at B&R Dentist, Carmelite Carefree Village, Carriage Greens, Chuck's Southern Comfort Cafe, Culver's, the Goddard School, Homer Moon, Jet Pizza, the Patio Restaurant, La Notte Due, Q Bar and Grill, Zazzo's Pizza, Mi Hacienda, and the Wild Orchid. A heartfelt thank you to our outgoing chairman of the board, Tim Warner, for his outstanding 2-year term. Next month, we welcome our new incoming chairman, Tom Papis, owner of Rose Landscape and Design here in Darien, and vice chair Kathy McNulty of My New Neighbor. Neighbors of Darien and the Darien Chamber are preparing for the 2014-2015 Community Guide. All Darien businesses are invited to join the chamber to be featured in this publication. Advertising opportunities are also available. For more information about the chamber or neighbors, you can contact me at 630-968-0004. The Darien Rotary Club is hosting a business after hours on Thursday at 5 p.m. at Republic Bank. The Darien Historical Society is hosting their annual Sunday dinner this Sunday at Alpine Banquets. There's a few more tickets left over. For more information, you can call Alice Brennan by this Wednesday at 630-964-6792. The Darien VFW Post 2838 is hosting Rockin' with the Vets on March 7th at Ashiana Banquets. For more ticket information, please call 630-796-5654. The Darien Chamber of Commerce will be participating in the Economic Outlook Luncheon on February 27th at Oak Brook Hills Hotel. And Darien Dash will be held on Sunday, May 18th at Darien Community Park. Online registration and sponsorship opportunities will be available early February. Thank you.
Thank you. Lot to update. Thank you. Did anybody have any questions for Claire? For sure? Okay. All right, then the next item on the mayor's report is our 2014 Citizen of the Year nomination. And I will turn it over to Alderman Belke to read the nominating letter.
Here we go.
Don't peek, all lowercase.
I'm not.
Don't peek.
There's a lot here.
Darien's motto is "A nice place to live," but without the perseverance of our nominee, Darien may not have been the wonderful city it is today. In 1968, when Darien was petitioning its citizens to incorporate and for the County of DuPage to accept us as a city into the county, our nominee pounded the pavement to get signatures on the petitions and burned up the phone lines to residents and county commissioners, convincing them they wanted us. In essence, our nominee could be said to be one of our founding fathers of the new modern Darien, because back in 1968, without his tenacity, we would have not been accepted. So the story goes, it was a tight vote. On December 13th, 1969, Darien was incorporated into DuPage County. This was his start, and what a reign it has been. City Council, it gives the committee great pride and pleasure to submit the name of John F. Podorowski, Jr. as our choice for the 2014 Citizen of the Year. When confronted by the Citizen of the Year committee at his front door on a very, very cold night, the first words out of his mouth were, "But I didn't do anything." He went on to say, "I don't measure up to all those folks who have their pictures on the wall." But his son put it into perspective when he said, "Dad, you have done so much for this city," and how right he was. A quote from Chris Jami puts John's life into focus. "Find a purpose to serve, not a lifestyle to live." John is a very humble and private person who does not go out of his way to bring attention to himself, but allows his actions to speak for himself. John and his wife Sharon, of 51 years, moved to Darien in January of 1968. Here they raised their 3 children, Elizabeth, John, and James, and where they adore their 3 grandchildren. After the successful campaign to incorporate Darien, John started to feel his oats. In 1972, he started Cub Scout Pack 236 at Leigh School and was leader for over 3 years with 50 young boys under his guidance. Not to let his daughter down, he then became a group leader for the Girl Scouts. Additionally, starting in 1972 and for the next 10 years, he served as president, vice president, treasurer, and facilities director of the Darien Youth Club, DYC, plus 12 years of coaching baseball and another 3 years coaching basketball. These organizations strongly benefit the city's youth and the growth of the community. And knowing the importance of education to any city, for over 2 years, John explored the consolidation of District 61 and 63 into one district. He also was instrumental in structuring the formation of the District 61 Education Foundation. The city of Darien benefited in other ways from John as well. He was a member of the Breakfast Kiwanis Club for 3 years, serving as president for 1. He served with the Auxiliary Police from 1995 to 1997, was a member of the city's zoning committee from 1997 to 2003, and was a committee member of Save the Barn. With the pending construction of 75th Street, John assisted the Brookhaven's Merchants Association in meeting with the DuPage County highway officials and helped orchestrate and negotiate an additional entrance access off of Cass Avenue into the shopping center that was originally not in the county's plan. One of John's nominators noted, John has touched almost everyone in Darien through his generosity of service and commitment. In 1997, John became a member of the Darien Historical Society. He has served as a director for many years and is presently the president of the society. His devotion and undertaking have been remarkable. John and his family have been diligent as collectors for the group's annual fundraiser, Tag Day. Rain or shine, John is on the corner. He alone focused on gathering information and materials from the Darien Youth Club to include in the archives of the society. As president, he conducts meetings with both tolerance and professionalism. The society holds his intellect in high esteem. Now, moving forward, in 2002, Mayor Carmen Soldado appointed John to the position of Ward 3 Alderman, a position he held honorably until his retirement in May 2013. As an alderman, he went above and beyond his service to his Ward 3 constituents by tirelessly seeking reliable electric service, addressing speeding issues in the neighborhoods, and initializing the subsidized taxi service for our senior citizens. His insistence that the city do a special census after the 2000 census brought the city increased revenues due to Darien residents that were missed on the original 2000 count. As chairman of the Administrative Finance Committee, he questioned every dollar spent to be sure there was no waste and that all dollars were spent serving Darien residents. The annual televised city budget work sessions that he chaired were evidence to this statement. To be sure, his insight into issues and his dogged persistence on money matters will serve as examples to those that follow him in government. Another nominator added, John is able to identify the central issues of any challenge and be reliable in the completion of tackled tasks. During his tenure on City Council, one of the greatest wishes was to be able to reduce the city tax to its residents. And the city was able to accomplish just that prior to his retirement both in 2012 and 2013. As the nominator stated, a shining star? No, John is a galaxy and will forever be shining brightly throughout the city of Darien. City Council, we present to you John F. Podorowski Jr. as our choice for the Darien 2014 Citizen of the Year, respectfully submitted by the Darien Citizen of the Year Committee.
Yes.
Thank you.
I think you are making that nomination, Alderman Balke?
Yes.
Seconded by Alderman Marquez. Discussion?
Yeah, right.
Obviously, I couldn't be happier. I can't say enough about John Podorowski. And he and I tilted on some issues at times, but you knew his heart was in the right place at all times. And it was always about what was best for Darien. So I'm thrilled with the nomination today.
My feeling, knowing John's humbleness and the way John does not like attention. John would say no to you if you went to his door. I was afraid he was going to say no.
Yeah, he did. Dear.
The night I got sworn in, I said I got big shoes to fill, and you just proved it by every word you read off that piece of paper.
Yes.
And you know, it's amazing. You know, we know John from being on the city council, but then you look at all the things he did even before he got here, and it's quite a terrific resume. So, thank you, committee. And I guess now we'll take a vote. Excuse me, the roll, please.
Balke? Aye. Marquez?
Aye.
Belzak?
Aye.
Kenny?
Aye.
McIver?
Aye.
Schauer?
Aye.
Seifert?
Aye.
7 ayes.
The motion carries. We will, Alderman Belke, do you want to go over the dates of all the events that are coming up?
Sure. The first date after this would be February 18th, which is a Tuesday, since there's a holiday on that Monday. The City Council will be meeting on February 18th, and that will be the special recognition for him for cake and coffee, starting at 7:30. After the council meeting, right outside the council chamber doors here. And then also the dinner dance will be March 8th, and that event starts at 6 o'clock.
6 p.m. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the committee, brand new committee, so I hope you found your way through this process. It seems like you did, and by all the faces I see there, it looks like you had a good time doing it too. So we really appreciate all the effort that goes into this event. Bonnie Cusera, Barb Boyer, Carrie Ganzi, Carol Millers, Lynn Zeman. Thank you all for volunteering and doing this for us. We really appreciate your time. Are we missing anybody tonight? No, we got everybody. Okay. Thank you very much. We will see you in a couple weeks then. Thank you.
Thank you. Nice job, committee.
Let's move on to the city clerk's report.
No report this evening, Madam Mayor.
Let's move on to the city administrator's report.
No report also, Mayor.
Let's move on to department head information and questions. Oh, gosh.
Here's where we get going. We got a
Okay.
couple reports tonight.
Yeah.
Good evening, Mrs. Mayor and City Council members. Thank you. I'm going to make this brief. I almost feel bad when nobody else had a
report to have, yeah.
report to make tonight. So we are in the process of putting the finishing touches on the 13th period monthly report, which also includes some year-end stats. We have some things to be proud of, and it's not to claim victory by any stretch, but we're headed in the right direction. So I'm going to go over some personnel stuff, some internal stuff first, and then we'll just touch base on a couple of stats, and then we'll have the full report out by the end of the week. And I think Brian will be sending it out to the full council. So. Excuse me. I've been out in the community quite a bit since Christmas. Spoke at the Lions Club. Spoke at one of the local committee. The Dawn group is a local mentoring group. They hosted host a fundraiser here at Ashton Place each year, and I've spoken there 2 years in a row. And so they do a lot of mentoring. I met them initially over at with Marty Casey over at Lace School.
What's the name of the organization?
Dawn, D-A-A-W-N. It's an affiliate of the African American Leadership Council, and Marty originally introduced it. He said, look, I got somebody I want you to meet, and he threw me in the pit, and it's turned out really well. I enjoyed my time with the young kids from Darien. Darien and Westmont are involved in the after-school program. It's also part of the Safe Haven program at St. John Lutheran Church, and so we're affiliated with that, and we're trying to put as many tentacles out and stop trouble before it turns into trouble. Situational awareness and crime tips for citizens. I cannot impress upon you how much success we've had this year in reducing burglaries, residential burglaries, and burglaries to the motor vehicle, but we're still a long way to go. We still get cars. We've had 5 burglaries or attempted burglaries to the motor vehicles just since January, and in each case, it's either an unlocked vehicle or valuables that were left in plain view, or both. Somebody's Garmin and an unlocked car sitting right on the dash, and it's like an open invitation. And so we really, as a community, have to do a better job, because this is an opportunity for us to take opportunities from the bad guys, and we really have to seize on that. On Friday, January the 17th, we had an active shooter drill at Hinsdale South High School. It involved Burr Ridge and Willowbrook police officers and Darien police officers. It was a professional development day for the school, and so none of the students were present, but all of the teachers assisted in participating. Darwood Fire Service and Tri-State Fire Service also participated, so we had quite a few people there. Our Sergeant Charay was the bad guy. He took hostages in the school and shot people and everything else. So, but it was the purpose of it was not just for playtime. It was for training for everybody. I think one of the key essentials that if Jerry Pickley were here, he would tell you in terms of disaster preparedness are putting all the stakeholders together before there's a disaster, so that everybody gets acclimated to what everybody else does. And so we think it was a good job. Jerry certainly did a good job putting it together. We think we did a good job, but there's a lot of room for improvement on communication and how we set up and things like that. But there was a lot of people involved in it, and that made it a success. We again lost Sergeant Dave Stock. He retired after, I think it's 27 years, and he was happy to go and sad to go at the same time. So we're going to miss him. At the same time, we hired Officer Jennifer Dollins, who started school. The background checks are done. Everything came out fine, and she's already started South Suburban Law Enforcement Academy. So we're happy about that. The Detective Division is currently investigating 75 open cases, and they range from seriousness from criminal damage to property to a criminal sexual assault. And so Sergeant Charay and Deputy Chief Cooper and myself are looking at the number of cases we're handling, whether we should be handling all of those cases, whether we have enough personnel to adequately handle them, everything else. So we're taking a long, hard look at how we handle the cases to make sure that we don't let anything slip through the cracks. So of significant statistical note, criminal damage to property declined about 48%, 48.8%. Now that decline is kind of interesting, because last year we had a really bad spike. think we had 40 criminal damages in one weekend, damaged mailboxes. And we think that to a large degree our change in patrol strategies and vigilance have helped pay off in that regard. Burglary to the motor vehicle declined 58%. A residential burglary, which was up by about 22% at mid-year, while we ended out the year down by about 6.5%. So those are some things to be proud of. And we'll just keep plodding along, and I won't tie up any more of your time. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
You know, I remember when we went to the disaster preparedness with I forget all the different names that the DuPage County has for it. They've had so many different names for that group. I think it's called Homeland Security now. Yeah. They were in the habit of staging some major play events in the past. And I think cities would volunteer to be the location for those events. Is that process still going on, and could we participate in?
We still do. We participated in one recently with, is it Downers Grove? Downers Grove. And this was part of in January of this year, there was a new state law passed that mandates an exercise. It can be as marginal as a tabletop, or it can be a full-blown exercise, or it can be what we did. We were right in the middle with the exercise we did on the 17th. But that's definitely an integral part of the state law that has mandated that for all the schools. And so we're working with all the schools toward that goal.
Okay.
But we are actively involved in other countywide initiatives as well.
So they've taken that whole scenario down to a little bit less of a giant event and made it a little bit more local, smaller events?
It's more practical, the way it's handled, because ultimately what would happen if there was, in fact, an active shooter or any other disaster at Hinsdale South or anywhere in Darien, it would be our police department for sure, but there would be other police departments, given the mutual aid agreements, that also responded. And what we're working toward is to make sure that we don't wind up like the circumstances in 911 in September of 2011. 2001, I'm sorry, when the folks that should be first responders and coming together didn't really know how to operate together, or the communications were bad, and things like that. And so what we want to do is make sure if there's a disaster that we all know how to play well in the sandbox, essentially.
Yeah. Thank you. Any questions for the chief? One of you guys?
Chief Brown, the Darien Lions Club has a group called Darien Alert, or called the Lions Alert. It's a statewide charge to Lions clubs to work with local police departments and fire departments to assist as volunteers in the case of any type of emergency that takes place within the community. Have you been contacted by anybody? I thought they were working with somebody in the police department.
I have not, but I'm not the conduit. They probably would have reached out to Jerry Pickley, and he'd be the better person to check with.
Okay.
I will check with him, and then I'll get back to you. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Anything else for the chief? Thanks, Chief.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, I will try to keep it brief.
This is a PowerPoint.
Websites. At the goal-setting meeting in November, the City Council prioritized taking a look at our website to see what we can do to improve and really improve our web presence and also our communications with residents. We had our experts, our website people, come in and give us some suggestions, telling us where we might be able to improve and what a reconstruction of our website might look like. So if you look on the monitor, we'll begin first by taking a look at our website. And we had a complete remodel of our website in 2006, and this is a very state-of-the-art website for 2006. A few things that you'll notice on here are there are a lot of links, and this was something that people were doing in 2006. When you would go to a website, you would plan to spend a lot of time there. You would look around, you would get an idea of the website or an idea of the organization, whereas now people are really thumbing through looking to get somewhere. They're looking for something very specific on the website, and they want to see that. Other aspects of the website, you can see that it's left formatted. Now there are many different types of devices that people use when going onto a website. You have smartphones, you have tablets, you have PCs, you still have some people with desktops, and new websites don't have a left formatting. They have what's really a dynamic formatting. So a website will be able to identify that you're using an iPad and make the spacing proper. So they'll be able to make that a little better. So as you see on our website right now, we have a big open white space on the side. Here's an example of a new age website. Bloomfield Township, Michigan is a good example. Now what you'll notice first on this is the formatting, but also instead of having links where you have to go and click in order to find something, when you just scroll over some of the different menu items, you have dozens of links that'll pop up under each one. So if you're looking for information on gypsy moths as an example, you don't have to click on something. You can just scroll until you see gypsy moths underneath. And there could be some subcategories of different topics, such as emergency readiness. You'll be able to quickly find whatever you're looking for. Some things that our website does very well currently is the hot news is by far largest number of clicks, and having that item there with things that we're trying to get out to residents, that's very good. One thing that we don't have on our website is current events. So if there's a city council meeting coming up, many communities will now have that as a little scrolling feature on some portion of their website. So using another example of Flushing Township, Michigan, the company actually did some good branding for them also. So they reformatted their logo to identify some of the architecture or the agricultural uses in the township area, and use some pictures and some of the natural features of the town to really make that website theirs and make it very visually appealing. One other item, we'll go back to Bloomfield Township for a second. We'll scroll down to an example of these local events that we were discussing, which tend to get a high number of clicks. If you go to one of these meetings, the Preservation Bloomfield Board of Directors, one of the other items that pops up immediately is the ability to share on Facebook or to retweet. So as you're going through the City of Darien website, if you want you and your neighbors who you're all friends with on Facebook to see something, you can just hit this button and it's going to appear in their news feed, which is a way to get really the community active and getting our information out there as other people are sending out our news. Good ways to reach people.
Could we use the Direct Connect email addresses to do something like that, to tweet to people? No? Or
Absolutely.
Facebook to people?
Yeah,
Okay.
we could tweet out links to.
Or Facebook them?
To do that.
Okay.
We currently don't use Twitter, but we are using Facebook. So
Okay.
we can definitely expand our social media presence.
Okay.
It hasn't been something that we've made a large commitment to. So those are a few suggestions. There's really dozens more. And we did an analysis of where people are going once they come to our website. And we're finding that people aren't going to the schools link. And that's helpful information. We may still want an area where people can go and get information from schools. But if they're looking to go and get information from schools, they might be going directly to the District 61 website. So knowing some of these things helps us know how to guide residents and really what we need to do in order to capture people in a better way. So all in all, we've discussed some of these items. We're going to be bringing this to budget to discuss the costs and whether or not we want to commit to something like this for the next year. But just to know that there are some opportunities out there to improve.
Did I responded and let you know which one of those two websites I liked? Which one did I say?
You liked the Bloomfield Township.
Okay, I can't remember. Did you get any input from anyone else on the council?
That was really what I had received, was that you had a preference of that. And
Yeah.
I think the really important thing, and the way that we did it in 2006, I thought the process was pretty good. We ended up bringing that to a couple of different meetings, and before we went live with the website, just gained input as we were going through, because that's really how you improve, is you find out what people are interested in and add that to the website.
And of course, we have pictures that are City of Darien pictures, correct?
We do.
With the scroller like it does?
We do. We could always use more, but there's it's fun to do some seasonal things there also. So I think Bloomfield Township has a pretty good example of this. They have the barn in the snow, and ours are, I think, a little more over the summer, because I think that's when we redid our website last time. So we can do a little more pictures and really branding the community also.
Can I ask, back in 2006, you said when this was done, How much did it cost back then to redesign this?
It was approximately $7,000 for that build. We have a proposal from our current website group for $10,900, but that's without us telling them what features they want or anything else. So that's something that we want to take a good look at a few different proposals and make sure that we have the right group and the right guidance on that.
I know just when I do research, which I do a lot, I mean, the aesthetics of a website is great, but I also know that a lot of people start anything they do online on a search engine. So, I mean, to me, it's very important that if I type in specifically what I want, City of Darien 2012 budget, and I type that into Google, that it takes me directly to the City of Darien page that has the budget on and doesn't make me search again. And I know today I was trying to do that with one of our neighboring websites. Won't mention any towns, but BR are the initials. And it wasn't taking me to the page that I wanted to go. It kept defaulting to the main page. And it really didn't work for me, because now I got to search again in their main page, and so I'm doing twice the work, really. So I know that's one of the things that I generally would look at, besides the aesthetic portion of it.
Certainly. There are were you going there directly from Google's website, or were you
Yeah, I would
searching within
search,
their own
no, I would
page?
search directly from Google for a specific page on their website that I was looking for, or a specific document. But it would just take me to their generic page, and then I'd have to search again, which isn't really what I wanted to do. So, whereas last week, I was searching something in Berwyn, and specifically I needed their real estate transfer declaration, and I just typed into Google Berwyn city transfer declaration, and it took me directly to their transfer declaration, which is exactly what I wanted.
Yeah, wow.
So, distinct differences, but certainly from a professional standpoint, and I think personally when I search things, I do the same. That's, I have no patience. I want the answer now. I don't want to have to take an extra step. So, just something to think about.
That is, we could also certainly do that. There are companies, and it's a little different. It's called search engine optimization. And there are companies that specialize in getting your link to exactly where you want to do. So, so very much what you're mentioning. And the way that Google or Bing or any of these search engines identify and put certain links over another. If we want to be the first Darien to go up instead of Darien, Connecticut or Darien, Georgia, there are ways to do that also. So there are firms that'll do that. Even expanding it further, we could do things like adding a city app. So if people wanted to specifically have certain Darien items, we could go that route also. It's really good to start talking about these things and looking at a big picture to determine exactly what goals we want to have going in also.
Shoot, would we be a free app, or would we charge for this app?
I'm sure we wouldn't be charged.
Just
for it.
joking, just joking.
The rest of us are free.
Podorowski and I are right there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Let's move on to the treasurer's report.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This evening, I'm requesting council's approval of warrant number 131417, the amount of $531,536.97 from the listed funds. Payroll for the period ended January 9th in the amount of $341,022.98 for a total to be approved of $872,559.95.
Do I have a motion to approve? Alderman Seifert, second by Alderman Kenny. Discussion? The roll, please.
Seifert.
Aye.
Kenny.
Aye.
Belkey. Aye. Belzak.
Aye.
Shower.
Aye.
McIver.
Aye.
Marquez.
Aye.
7 ayes.
The warrant has been approved. Then, do you want to go over the revenue expenditure report?
Our year-to-date revenue and expenditure report for the period ended December 31st, 2013 reflects a general fund year-to-date revenue of $9,638,400, expenditures of $7,537,308 for a current balance of $3,024,678. Water fund year-to-date revenue of $2,924,720, expenditures of $3,501,433 for a current balance of $295,781. Motor fuel tax fund, year-to-date revenue $463,035, expenditures $365,893, for a current balance of $389,852. Water depreciation fund, year-to-date revenue $62,232, expenditures of $130,170, for a current balance of $674,780. Capital improvement fund, year-to-date revenue $4,056,986, expenditures of $2,854,725, for a current balance of $5,013,358. Capital projects debt service fund, year-to-date revenue $502,901, expenditures of $541,038, for a fund balance of a deficit of $30,276.
Any questions for the treasurer? And you wanted to mention something about the police pension?
Well, just in terms of the upcoming meetings, the Police Pension Board will have their quarterly meeting next Wednesday, January 29th, across the street in the police training room. It'll be starting at 7 p.m. We'll go over the quarterly review of the performance of the police pension fund for the last quarter of 2013, and both of our investment advisors will be present at that.
Okay. Any questions for the treasurer? Let's move on to, do we have anyone in the audience that has questions or comments on any of the items that are in the agenda this evening?
We still have the standing committee reports.
Oops, I missed I missed item 13, standing committee reports. I'm sorry. Alderman Schauer?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Our next order of finance meeting will be held Monday, February 3rd at 6 p.m. in our upstairs meeting room.
Alderman McIver?
Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you, Madam Mayor. We did not have a police committee meeting in January, which would have been this evening. However, we have one planned. I guess it's going to be for Tuesday. I originally thought the 17th, but apparently it'll be preceding the next city council meeting, or the second city council meeting in February. So Tuesday, February 18th, 2013 at 6 p.m., pending agenda items.
And Alderman Marquez?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just a reminder, the Municipal Services Committee will meet next Monday, 27th at 6:30 here in the council chambers.
Thank you. Now we can move on to questions, comments, agenda related. Does anyone in the audience, or I should offer to the council first, questions, comments at all on, we didn't have a lot to discuss at our work session. I would like to open it up to the floor if anyone wants to address the council on any of the items that are on the agenda this evening. Then I'll move on to old business, and there being no old business this evening, we'll move directly to the consent agenda, and I'll just mention the items that are on the consent agenda this evening. Item A is a motion to approve the Darien Chamber of Commerce's 14th Annual Darien Dash, which will take place on May 18th. It is a 10K run, 5K run, and a 1-mile walk. Item B is a motion to approve all the streets that are going to be used by the race, and there are a few. The race runs through the Hinsbrook subdivision, so if anyone wants to know what those streets are, they can contact our website or contact City Hall. Item C is a motion to grant a waiver of a raffle license bond for Our Lady of Peace. Item D is a motion to grant a waiver of the raffle license bond for the Darien Lions Club. And that is the consent agenda for this evening. Do I have a motion to approve? Alderman McIver, seconded by Alderman Belke. The roll, please.
McIver. Aye. Belke. Aye. Kenny.
Aye.
Marquez.
Aye.
Seifert.
Aye.
Schauer.
Aye.
Belzak.
Aye.
7 ayes.
All items have been approved. Next item on the agenda is new business, and there being no new business, I'll move to questions, comments, and announcements first from the City Council. Alderman McIver.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I probably should have brought this up during communications, but Brian reminded me. There was a meeting last week of the Plan Commission last Wednesday regarding specifically an item for the potential rezoning and a variance of the property, the Wolf property at 75th and Main Street in Darien. And I had received a lot of communications from the residents in that area, specifically the Wolf camera immediately abuts 3 single-family residences, and the petitioner wished to basically turn that property into a sports bar. So there was a big turnout. I attended the meeting, and I supported the residents that, if the petitioner could find a different location that was more suitable for that type of use, that wouldn't require a rezoning and variance and impact single-family residences immediately adjacent to the property. But basically, the Plan Commission listened to the residents and did vote that down, both the variance and the rezoning by a 7-0 vote. And I believe next it's going to the Municipal Services Committee. The date is
January 27th.
So it's next week. And then after that, it would go to City Council, but I just thought I'd provide a report.
Thank you. Yes, I was copied on all of those communications, too. Thank you. Any other announcements, Alderman Belke?
A quick update on the issue that we had discussed a few weeks back, maybe even last month, in regards to Hinsdale High School and the parking overflow problem for high school events. Just wanted to let everybody know that there's a survey going out to the residents that are affected there on Brookbank, Evans, and Elm Street, and that will be presenting the three options that we discussed at our earlier meetings with one is a permit, one is extending the do not parking hours, and then one is barricading the street, in addition to an open-ended question that says, what do you think, do you have any other ideas, such as, parking on one side of the street only, those kind of things. So that went out last week, so we're looking forward to hearing feedback from the residents in that area. And one of the things that prompted this is that the police department and the Hinsdale South High School were supposed to be in communication with each other when the events were happening in mass, and that wasn't really getting satisfied. So now we took it to the next level to see what we can do for the residents. So thank you for that. The other thing is, I wanted to circle back on the crossing guard. So, did the council decide that maybe we'll bring that to municipal, since that's the next meeting coming up?
What committee addressed it in the first, it was Police Committee. Yeah, it was.
So that won't be till the end of, the third week in February then. That's a long time, I think, to wait.
It's probably something, if the council wants to get it done as quickly as possible, the next municipal services is the next meeting, but followed by the, and finance could certainly
take a look at it financially.
Take a look at that, yeah.
I'll look back, but didn't we even have John Murphy make a legal stance on, whether the city's liable, or didn't he step in a little bit on that?
I don't think we buried any liability.
Yeah,
I don't remember without looking.
I'll look back at some of those.
I'll have to look. Part of the issue originally was, is there a state law requiring either of the entities to do that? And that there was nothing specifically in statute. But I'll check again at whatever John had given us.
If you were to take that argument, all the way out to the nth degree on that, if we were liable, we would have to have someone there on every corner all the time.
Right.
If you want to take that argument all the way out. So I don't think we have the liability, but.
Well, there's liability if you have people there. So, the question of liability, is really one, could somebody sue? And certainly everybody knows that somebody could, and whether or not, we have a true liability there, I think is what you're asking.
Yeah.
And we'll have to check.
Now, do I remember right that your ward, Sylvia, has a very busy intersection as well?
It's Lamont Road.
Yeah.
Lamont and Plainfield. That's where kids cross to go to Lakeview and Prairie View. That has no crossing guard. No, there's nothing.
Elizabeth.
And it's a bust, so it's voluntary to commute there or get a ride to school, but, it's 100% bus district. So busing is available for every student in the district.
And that was a change, I think, a couple of years back. It wasn't.
I'm sorry, within a mile radius, I think they don't bus, but.
That was a change they had made over the last several years, I believe. No.
We haven't had crossing guards for as long as I've lived here.
Okay.
No. So District 66 did not.
If we're going to discuss this next week, you discussed options. Could we have that in an agenda format then? So we're looking at options, just not whether or not we'll pick it up for a month. But you had mentioned the possibility, or somebody mentioned the possibility about working with Andy Frayne and District 61 to see if they could pick up that last month. I mean, there were different options you mentioned.
We need to know where Carlo's at. I mean, we need to know where District 61 is at right now.
I'd like to see our committee make a decision absent what Bob Carlo's
Well,
planning to do.
that's what's troubling me, is, you know, and obviously, they've got residents worked up now about this issue, and now they're coming to us when they should have been addressing this for a very long time.
Yeah, the issue of getting Andy Frayne there for a month is a simple one. We know he would do that. They've been in contact with the school district, and Andy Frayne have talked already. So I think it's just a matter now of looking to Bob and finding out what they're going to do.
You know, it just troubles me that we even take the initiative. We've got to know what they're doing first. I mean, before we even do anything.
You know, I understand where the residents coming from, but there were residents in my ward who were very upset that they were paying taxes that were going to those children being crossed, to those crossing guards. I mean, we're talking May of last year. I mean, how much notice do these people?
2 years.
Well, 2 years ago. I realize that, but the final notice was last May. And, you know, to put us in a situation here where we're ending our fiscal year and now we have to discuss whether or not we're going to expend $2,000 more for another month, that is so wrong. It really is. I mean,
And we might not have to if Bob Carlo, you know, I know the residents said they didn't have that information, but I'll just have to also get that from Bob directly to make sure he doesn't, you know, there's not something coming out again in the near future. But considering, you know, the municipal service meets in a week,